know, there are a lot of imposters out there. But second,
Mahmoud, Reed, Salim, Yasmina, Yajamina, Zainab, Yaraqten, good morning. Ali Al-Hajj Hussein, how
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to wait for 2 more minutes so that all the others join, and then we're going to start. Okay, guys, I will share screen now with you. And let's start. Okay. Yesterday, no, not yesterday, before yesterday. So on Tuesday, we started with the grammar lesson, which is the past past simple, okay? And we talked about its forms and its uses. I'm going to briefly repeat what we have explained, and let's start with the past simple. We said that we have two kinds of verbs, the regular and irregular verbs, and every one of them has a certain way in order to be changed into the past tense. So the regular verbs are changed into the past by adding ed, and the irregular verbs are changed into the past by just following the list of irregular verbs. So they do not follow the rule, they just should be memorized, okay? So these should be memorized, and we should not add ed to these verbs. We also talked about the uses of the past simple, and we said the past simple is used to express completed actions in the past. Like, for example, he broke his tooth last week. So this action was finished and completed. Okay, guys, sorry, I lost connection. Let's continue. So we also talked about the uses of the past simple and so on. Now we are going to move to we also solved the exercises. Let's now move to part 2, which is writing, and we're going to talk about how to write a narrative paragraph. Okay, so we're going to discuss or explain the narrative paragraph. First of all, before I start, can anybody tell me what do we mean by narrate? I will allow you to unmute yourselves. In case you want to answer, please unmute, but please, if it's noisy next to you, no need to unmute yourselves. Okay? So by raising your hands, who can tell me what is narration? What do we mean when I say narrate?
Miss, Miss, I have a question to ask you.
Yes, Ali.
Miss, do we still have a Zoom on 4
yes.
p.m. or?
Yes, of course, yes. It's a substitution of yesterday's lecture. Yesterday's session. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's continue. Who can tell us, when you hear the word narrate, what does that mean when I say narration or narrate?
Yes, you are telling some. You're telling something.
Very good. Or telling something, or telling what also? Other than something.
Like telling a story or telling someone's experience in life.
Very good, very good. So when I say narrate, it means I'm telling a story. I'm narrating a story. I'm telling a story of someone's, as Hassan said, your own experience or maybe someone else's experience in life. Okay, so this is what we mean by narrate. Let's move now to the big question. What is a narrative paragraph? As Hassan said, of course, a narrative paragraph is a story. It's a story about your experience or about somebody else's experience. Okay, not only about your experience. And of course, this story might be imaginary and from your imagination, or it might be a real story which really happened and really took place in your life or somebody's life. Okay, so a narrative paragraph is a story, as we said. It's a story in which it narrates a certain experience or tells a certain experience that happened with a certain person in life. So you either talk about your own experience or about the experience of anybody else. And as I told you, it might be imaginary and it might be real. Okay? So this is the definition of a narrative paragraph in general. So far, everything is clear. Did you understand what is a narrative paragraph?
Yes.
Any questions before I move on?
No. No.
Okay. Let's now move to the components of a story or to the elements of a story or of a narrative paragraph. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I can't hear my network.
There is no connection.
I cannot hear anything. One of you speak, one by one. Let's continue. Please stop interrupting me. If you have anything to say, raise your hands. Let's continue now with the components of a story or the elements of a story or the elements of a narrative paragraph, because the narrative paragraph is a story. Okay, we talked about the plot, the characters, the setting, and the descriptions. Let's talk about them one by one or explain them one by one. What is a plot? Okay, so you're asking yourself, what is a plot? A plot is the events in a story, or what is taking place in a story, what's happening in the story, what's forming the paragraph in the story, or the actions or the events in the story. This is what do we call a plot. So the plot is the events that took place in the story. So what happened with the characters, what happened with this person, what happened to this in this certain situation. All of the actions that are taking place or developing the paragraph are called a plot. So they are the events in a story. Okay? Now, what are the characters? The characters, miss, are the any person or sometimes animals who are participating in the story, sharing in the story, who are acting in the story. So the characters are people or animals or sometimes things which are participating in the story or in the narrative paragraph that you are writing. What is a setting? A setting is the time and place. It means when and where did the story take place? When and where did the story take place? So the setting is the time and place of the story. Okay, when and where. Clear?
Yes.
Now we move to the last part, which is the descriptions. This part is very important because when I say descriptions, you will think, what am I going to describe? What am I going to talk about? What you are going to describe in a narrative story is maybe the place in which the story took place or happened. You might describe the feelings of the characters, okay? You might describe anything else in the story. That's why you have to use your 5 senses, you have to use adjectives, and you have to describe a narrative story in order to, let's say, allow the reader feel with you, okay? So if you are sad, you have to use some descriptions to show that you're sad. If you felt happy, you have to use descriptions that show that you're happy. This is writing. So you have to let the reader feel that he is watching a movie, not reading a book. Okay? This is what we mean by description. Now let's move to a story, to the story map. Okay, we explained this in our reading lesson, the cow music, and we already filled one together related to the lesson to cow music. Okay, story maps may have many different shapes, but same content. And you might have a different story map shape or a chart shape or a table shape, but same content. So do not just panic when you see a new form of a story map, because they already have the same content. Okay? So a narrative paragraph follow a story map. So when I want to write a narrative paragraph, what do I have to do is to fill in a story map. Why? Because a story map is a plan. Okay? A story map is a plan in which it organizes your ideas, it summarizes your ideas, and the most important thing, it's that it is a planner in which you set the ideas that you want to develop in the paragraph. Okay, so it makes it much easier for you to develop your paragraph if the ideas you want to develop are written in a story map and are well organized. So a story map is a plan. Okay, it's a graphic organizer, but it's a plan which organizes your ideas, the ideas that you are going to develop in your paragraph. Okay, that's why we fill in a story map before we write the paragraph. Let's talk a little bit about this story map that we have here. As I told you, you might have different shapes, but same content. Okay. Let's start with the characters. Who can tell me what are the characters? Who are the characters? By raising your hands, please.
Miss, they are the people inside the story.
Yes, Angelina.
Miss, they are the people or animals that are participating in the story.
Very good. What is a setting?
Can I answer?
Yes, Samia.
A setting is where the story took place, or where it took place, or where it's gonna take place.
Where and when. So
when.
The time and the place, where and when the story took place. What is the problem? What is a problem? Please, I want new people to share. What is the problem? Yes, Julia.
Miss, may I?
Julia.
The problem is that when something goes wrong in the story and then they need to fix it.
Very good. So it's the challenge in which the characters pass through, or it's the problem in which the characters face. Okay. What are the major events? What is there another name for the major events? What do we call the major events other than major events?
Plot.
Plot. Very good. So we call them a plot, and these are the events. Story outcome. What's that?
Miss.
It's like what happened after
Miss,
the story.
it's like what happened at the end, like the good thing.
Very good. So it's what happened at the end, means the solution of the story, or how was the problem solved and what happened at the end of the story. Very good. Okay, so this is what do we mean also by story.
Or Miss, it could just be the ending. It doesn't always need to have a solution, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the ending. It's exactly. Okay, let's now move to the explanation of what is a narrative paragraph. So a narrative paragraph, as we said, has three parts: beginning, middle, and end, all of them written in one paragraph. The beginning introduces and describes the people, place, and time of a story. So in the beginning of the paragraph, you have to state the people, the place, and the time. يعني means the characters and the setting. In the middle, you have to describe the events involving your main characters. And in the end, you have to resolve the complication or the problem and the story with a twist, leave the reader with a question, or remind the readers with a central message, because sometimes narrative paragraphs can carry a certain message to the readers. So that's why we said remind the readers of the central message. There's something that you have to remember and always remember, which is remember to use the past tense. That's why I explained the past tense with the narrative paragraph, because they are always integrated. When you write a narrative paragraph, you have to use the past simple tense, okay? Because when you narrate a story, it means you are narrating a story which happened with you in the past. Describe events chronologically. It means describe events in chronological order. What happened in chronological order, in the correct order of time. Don't use much dialogues. Use sensory details, sight, sound, smell, taste, and hear in order to describe. Let's now move to the model that we have, an exceptional fear. The part written in red is the beginning, the part written in green is the middle, and the part written in blue is the end. So in the beginning, we have to state the characters, the problem, and the setting. So I never thought I could do it, but I finally conquered my fear of public speaking. This is the problem, fear of public speaking. My English teacher gave me the assignment. This is the first character, and the author is the second character. To speak for 3 minutes in front of my class at the beginning of the semester, and I worried about it for 2 months. I have always been afraid of making a speech in public. I wrote of my ideas on note cards. I practiced my speech in my notes in front of the mirror. Here she's telling us the setting. So at first it happened in class, and then she was practicing at home in front of my dog and in front of my brother. Would I be able to make my speech in front of my class? Now we move to the events, to the plot. What happened when the speech day, when the day of the speech came? I was ready. As I reached the podium, I looked at my audience and smiled, and I looked down at my note cards. At that moment, I realized that I had the wrong information. These were the notes for my biology test, not the information about my speech. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Suddenly, I began the speech. To my surprise, the words flowed from my mouth. 3 minutes later, it was over. Everyone applauded my speech that day, and I left the podium feeling like a winner. So, if we start this paragraph from the beginning, they started with a suitable title, which is an exceptional fear. Then they started with the beginning, the part written in red. The author stated the characters, the time and place in which the story happened, and the problem that she faced or he faced. Then we moved to the middle, the green part. She talked about the events and what happened on stage with her. In the blue part, which is the end, she explained the result, the resolution of the story, what happened with her, that she overcame the problem and everything became better. So this is what do we call a paragraph. A narrative paragraph is when you narrate a story. Is everything clear till now?
Yes.
Are you sure? Any questions?
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
We still have about 15 minutes. Okay. Do you want us to solve the worksheet
Yes, miss.
instead of Lahza, just a second. Let's do the worksheet instead of the session at 4.
Yes.
Yes, miss, please.
Okay, we
Yes,
still
miss,
have
it will
time.
be much better because at 2 we have Arabic.
Okay, no problem. So, لأنه we still have time. Okay, we have enough time. That's why I'll do it now. I'll do the worksheet with you. خليني أقول لكم شيء. This worksheet. Yes. Yes.
Nothing. No, you just
Miss,
stop talking
Miss,
for a
she's
second.
confused because you stopped talking, yeah.
No, I'm just looking for the worksheet to share screen. Okay, so this is the worksheet. Tomorrow you are going to have a quiz in the present simple tense. It's a very easy quiz. You are going to have 4 questions. Put the verbs in brackets into the present simple tense. Change the sentences to affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Find the grammatical mistakes and write a paragraph using the present simple tense. That's it. Please, let me tell you something. When you upload your exam, do not use pencils. اعملوا معروف. يعني when you write the answers, مش you scan them and then you upload them as PDF.
Yes.
Don't use pencils. You know why? It's not clear when you scan them. A pen is more clear for me to see because I'm correcting them on the laptop, and this is really
Miss, what color do we use?
blue
pen?
blue color.
Miss, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mama.
So we don't have a Zoom at 4, okay?
No, خلاص. If we solve the worksheet now, no need for the Zoom at 4. Yalla, let's start.
Okay, thanks,
Put
Miss.
verbs in brackets into the present simple tense. I already wrote the answers here, but let's...
Yes, I finished the worksheet.
What?
The worksheet, I have finished it.
Okay, Ali, very good. So this is the answer key. The answer key is already uploaded to the application if you want to study. So Manuel and Lila Vega, as you can see, we have 2. So this is plural. That's why have stays the same. A busy lifestyle. Manuel is a doctor at the hospital. He works at night. And he, because he is a singular subject, so he goes to work at 7 and comes home at 7 a.m. His wife, Leela, works at the bank. She, singular subject, goes, and so on. So when you, I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to tell you, when you have
We
subject...
don't have a Zoom at...
Huh?
Miss, so we do not have Zoom at 4?
No.
She said that like 3 times already.
When you have such an exercise, all you have to do, please, is to pay attention to the subject in the sentence. If the subject is plural, then the verb stays as it is. If the subject is singular, you have to add ES to the verb. Now let's move to the sentences here. So let me delete these. I want you to answer. طيب, Ali Shugri, may you please do the first sentence?
Yes, Miss. I work from 9 to 7 on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yalla, negative.
Oh, I do. And negative is I do not work from 9 to 7 on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Very good. Interrogative, Ali.
Do I work from 9 to 7 on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Excellent, Ali. Okay, let me see who raised his hand. Angelina, you answered. Lamar Sufan. Yalla ya Lamar. Lamar. طيب, Adam Kondakji. Yalla Adam, the second one.
An astronaut doesn't have the same schedule every day.
Yes.
An astronaut have the same schedule every day.
Have.
Interrogative. Do an astronaut
لحظة. Oh, Adam.
have
An astronaut have. It's wrong.
have
An astronaut is a singular subject or a plural subject?
Miss, is your voice laggy or is it from me? Because
has.
Has, very good. Continue, Adam. So an astronaut has the same schedule every day. Continue, Adam.
Do an astronaut has the same schedule every day?
No, yeah, Adam. An astronaut is singular.
Yes, I said has.
no.
This is a question, yeah, Adam. So what do you start with? With do? With does. Does an astronaut have?
Does.
Okay. Okay, Adam.
Okay.
Asil, the last one.
Yes.
Miss, can I?
Does Harry work on Saturday? Harry works on Saturdays.
Yes.
Harry does not work on Saturdays.
Very good, very good. Let's move to the second exercise. I'm not going to show you the answers. Just we have to read this email and write 5 sentences about Rosa's
Miss, can I say it?
job. Yes, Ali. The first sentence.
Miss, okay, Miss, the first sentence is I work for an office supply company.
Yeah, but you have to write it in the present simple, like Rosa works for an office supply company. Okay.
Rosa works for an office supply company.
Yeah, other than that.
Yes. Then Rosa goes to the office and they meet with her boss to plan her schedule for the week.
Can you read any sentence and change it to the present simple tense? Like you are writing sentences about Rosa's new job.
Miss, because the connection is so bad in my house.
Type. Anybody else, please?
Teacher, me. Lie.
Who you?
I can continue if you want.
Let me check.
Miss, you unmuted me. Why?
Karim? Yes, Karim, go ahead.
Yes.
I want 2 more sentences from the paragraph that tells about Rosa's new job.
Akiko drives to different cities here in New York and also she travels to California every month.
Okay, very good.
Miss Karim said something wrong, Miss. It's Rosa drives, not Akiko.
Okay, no, look at the email to Sato Akiko. Okay, so Rosa flies to California every month. Okay, it's about Rosa's new job. Okay. Anyway, so till now we have Rosa has a new job. Rosa works for an office supply company. Rosa has a busy schedule, but she loves the work. On Monday, she goes to the office. She meets with the boss and plans her schedule for next week. She visits customers and sells their products during the week. She drives to different cities here in New York. She also flies to California every month. She works really hard, but the job pays well. She's so happy. Okay?
Miss, I have a question.
Yes.
Miss, what does she mean when she said the job pays well? Is it like it's a good job or like it pays her money?
It pays her money. She has a good salary.
Okay.
Okay. There are 5 mistakes in the paragraph below. Circle them and correct them in the lines. This question is going to be in the test tomorrow. I'm telling you from now. Okay, so
there's actually 6.
6 mistakes, yes. Okay, Bill is a mechanic. He knows a lot about cars. The mistake here is no because
he's singular.
He works at a garage. He
works because he's also singular.
Fixes, yes, because singular
he
now.
He fixes
cars and talks to customers. They ask questions about their cars. Bill works from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. He has, and this is wrong, we should say he has a busy schedule.
He has.
Very good, but he likes his job very much.
He likes
his
job very much.
Very good. That's it. The quiz tomorrow is going to be very easy, but please, as I told you, try as much as you can to just write in a blue pen so that when you scan the exam, it would be clear. Okay?
Mister, from what time till what time do you open the quiz and close it?
For 1 hour only. No extra.
Yeah, like from what? From what time? Like
نفس ما رح نرجع نفوت على الزوم ولا خلص.
Who's asking?
Miss and 4 and 4.
Hey, but who's asking? Who's talking now?
Me. Right.
No, we are not.
Okay. Miss, like what time are you gonna open the quiz?
I guess it's at 1. Check the application.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Miss,
check
today or tomorrow.
But from now, I'm telling you, the quiz will be opened for only 1 hour, يعني 60 minutes.
Tomorrow.
I'm not going to open it again. فما حدا يقول لي ما لحقت أو نسيت أو ما عملت أو ما كان عندي connection.
Miss, tomorrow.
عمي إيه؟
Okay.
That's it. Okay. Any questions before we leave?
No.
No.
Yes, thank you.
Goodbye.
No.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss. Bye, Miss.
Bye, miss.